Ice Cube is 100% right, and silence.
He made fuck the police in the 80s. I'd make fuck all y'all niggas in the 2010s.
Hey.
Bro, did you hear this Joe Biden mixtape?
Oh, that motherfucker came out and was like, yeah, we jacking for beats. Check this out. Yeah, I appreciate your votes, but hey, nigga, that's about it. That's all I got to do. I didn't have to make no promises. None of that shit. Got your vote. We in here for 8 years. Eat a dick.
Hey, and the sad thing is, Ice Cube looked like a motherfucking prophet over some shit that people with common sense already know.
Yep.
You get what you need. You get the promises, and you get the wheels in motion before you put these motherfuckers in office.
You know how much fucking sellout talk was flying around when Ice Cube was invited to talk to Trump?
To who?
No. It's when Ice Cube had that deal for black people. He went to go talk to the Republicans because they're the only ones that were willing to sit down with him.
Right.
And they called this motherfucker all kind of Uncle Toms and sellouts and shit on Twitter. Them niggas on Twitter got at him. And now here we are, where Ice Cube is 100% right, and silence.
He made fuck the police in the 80s. I'd make fuck all y'all niggas in the 2010s.
Hey, man.
The 2000 was it 2020? I still get mixed up. But in the 2021, I would make fuck all y'all niggas.
Mm-hmm.
In the 80s, it was fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
Hey, man,
I'll be like, fuck all y'all niggas coming straight from a man, son. Had fun with my cousins, family, and my loved ones. I fucked all that shit up, but yeah. That's
You're 100% right, though. You're 100% right. You know, it shows how fickle these motherfuckers can be. Especially, you know what? It shows how fickle these motherfuckers can be and how when you're right, you don't need everybody to be in concert with you.
No. You don't.
That's one thing, man. You can walk alone when you're 100% right. And that's what he did, man. Kudos to that nigga.
Right. Kudos to Cube, man. And people forget, man, this new generation don't know the Cube that we know.
Oh, no. They that's the are we there yet, Cube?
I
had to explain to my nieces and nephews, like, hey, man, back in the day, Cube was about that life. Well, I mean, we believed he was about that life. He rapped about that life.
Look, let me tell you something. Fuck all that about that life shit. Because ain't nobody had to sit up and ask Al Pacino, was he really in the mafia before he played Michael Corleone?
Hey, shit, nobody had to ask that motherfucker if he was really Latino.
Right. Nobody had to ask Arnold Schwarzenegger if he was really from the future before he played the T-800 and if he was really a cyborg. And I'm using that specifically because, nigga, that's a sci-fi movie. It's that fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's all make-believe. It's that motherfucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you look, like you said, this generation was children.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it was, are we there yet? They romanticize NWA for fuck the police, but a lot of that music was fucked up and ignorant.
It was.
But I'm talking about that Lethal Injection.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube. What was that?
That death certificate.
Death certificate.
Was the one. Good Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Begin and ended with Farrakhan.
Let me tell you something. What was when he had that Gorillas in the Mist?
Yeah.
That group.
Voodoo. Running from my magic.
Right. People forget, man. Him and Public Enemy was tight. NWA and Public Enemy was tight.
Hey, man.
Most motherfuckers forget that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, when I saw the ridicule that this cat was getting, there's this what's that shit, man? It went viral. I watched the whole interview when he was on that shit, Cocktails with Queens, with Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox,
I thought you was about to say
Selena. I think Selena Johnson, and other fine bitch. But either way, the other fine motherfucker. But either way, with the exception of Lisa Ray, they kind of was dogging my man on there. Ain't even no kind of. They was dogging the dude.
Right. Right. And it's one of those things where like we talked about before, them goddamn algorithms where it throws everybody down that same fucking rabbit hole.
Right.
And niggas is quick to jump on some bullshit to begin with.
Well,
You know
first
what?
of all, niggas is quick to jump on other black. Fuck the niggas shit. Black folks is quick to jump on. No. Let's go back. Niggas is quick to jump on other on black people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this dude stepped out on his own with some real intentions to getting some shit accomplished. You know what I mean? And just for sitting down and talking to the people in charge, he gets ridiculed. And then come to find out that this motherfucker was telling the truth the whole time. Like, hey man, they put me off. Biden and Harris put me off. I went and talked to Trump.
Who was the sucker motherfucker they had jump out there talking about nobody ever agreed to sit down with him?
Mm-hmm.
Cedric something. He's got I forget what his name was, but he came out there like we never agreed to sit down with him. But what I was telling people this, and he's a sucker for that shit. You know, another brother doing that to another brother doing that, a brother that's supposed to mean well. When you're in politics, you're supposed to mean well. We know most of them don't, but you're supposed to mean well, and you got out there to try and discredit a brother who genuinely meant well. When you listen to that Ice Cube, that interview with Ice Cube, and they said, "What made you do this?" He said, "I was tired of sitting around, seeing what my people was going through, and nobody was doing anything about it."
Right.
So I get on, I check out Roland Martin shit, and they was on there, you know, we need to have people up here who know what they doing, blah 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 blah, whatever. But the interesting thing is they, you know, I guess he got in contact with the Congressional Black Caucus, or they got in contact with him, and they said that they looked at Ice Cube's plan. Now they kept trying to say that Ice Cube's plan, the contract with Black America and the Platinum Plan, was one and the same, and they weren't.
Right.
They weren't. But the Congressional Black Caucus got in contact with Roland, and they was like, "Look, we read over his plan, and though he missed out on some things, it damn near mirrored the Congressional Black Caucus." And I'm like, "So you telling me one rapper got this much attention, but you motherfuckers who sit up there couldn't get none of it done?" And they said, "Well, Mitch McConnell," and I get this, Mitch McConnell refuses to bring the shit to the floor for a vote. But still, man, nothing fucking gets done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had all of these, and it wasn't just that cocktails with Queen shit. I mean, and they came at the brother wrong, with the exception of Lisa Ray. They came at him wrong. And I'm watching this shit, and it's like, you got to get the person in office first. And what fucking reality does that happen?
Hey man, you these are people that are talking politics, and they've never entered into that realm. You know, like Cube stepped off into politics. Them chicks on that show, that ain't what they do. How the fuck they gonna give you direction on something? You know,
right.
it's the media trying to turn the shit on somebody. You know, like we talked about. You know, it's all fine and dandy until they try to demonize you, and
right.
That was their fucking chance to demonize Ice Cube.
And I mean, it was just motherfuckers coming out in droves. Like, what is he doing? What is he?
That's exactly what they plan on doing. As soon as the first person steps out on their own, they try to make a mockery. They try to make an example out that motherfucker, so nobody else does it. So when it comes to black people getting things for themselves in politics, people are going to be a little bit reluctant to step out on that ledge, seeing what happened to fucking Ice Cube, and that was their goddamn plan.
Right. And look, man. it's always said that what do these entertainers do with their platforms?
Mm-hmm.
But then when the motherfucker got out there and he came up with some shit that made sense,
Mm-hmm.
it was time to tear him down.
Right.
But a month before that, motherfucking Cardi B got up there and was talking with Joe Biden, trying to be cute and all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you had motherfuckers actually defending that.
Yeah, you throwing that pigeon walk for fucking Biden.
Mary J. Blige, when she sat down with Hillary Clinton, and I'm a fan, but this motherfucker started singing.
Mary?
Look it up. YouTube, when she sat down with Hillary Clinton to do an interview, she just was like, yeah, such as, and please give up the fight. I'm like, did she just go into a full goddamn album? Right.
Start tap dancing, nigga.
Roland Martin,
Dance.
Roland Martin literally did that. He was on stage dancing with Hillary.
You know, fuck Hillary Clinton. Jesus Christ, man. This bitch needs to sit down somewhere. Or she needed to sit down fucking 15 years ago. But, you know, when she came out to the steel mills down by home, and this bitch went into one of them dive bars and had a shot in a beer, I was just like, come on, man. There are certain things you just can't do to try and fit in with the locals. You shot in a beer in a fucking dive bar with some steel workers. Come on now. No. You just get up and give a speech and walk out. Like there's nothing that you can mesh those gears with that you got and they got. Like it
not with those guys.
Not with those guys. No. Man,
we talking about go ahead. I'm sorry, Cuddy.
No, I'm just saying I lost all respect for that broad. I lost all respect for her. The respect I had left, I lost it for that day.
Let me tell you something. I had a teacher. I had an art teacher. He's one of my favorite people on earth. I used to come back and see him. I think I probably once. Let me not make it like it was a regular thing. I went back to see this dude out. He had been saying that shit. And what I mean came back when I used to come back to visit from the Army.
Right.
This dude was preaching about Hillary from the time I was in high school to the time I came back to check this cat out. He was still on it. But this is my thing. Do you notice any similarities between that, what she did, and Barack Obama going to Flint and saying, oh, I need a little bit of water?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is not a stunt. I want some water. And then doing this shit here.
Yeah.
Now, watch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you see the shit even go up to my lips?
No.
I'm thirsty.
Need to finish that glass. You want to throw on that show, nigga? Finish that glass. I want you to
finish that
tap
glass.
the bottom of that bitch and get the last drop of lead in your fucking system. Like, no, don't get up here and just wet your lips. Fuck that.
Like you disrespecting these people. They sick, they hurting, and you disrespecting them by coming up there. That motherfucker ain't even wet his lips.
Right.
He licked his lips. That's the wettest it got when he fucked with that glass.
Yeah, you want to prove that water's fine? Give it to your fucking kids, because that lead's gonna affect your fucking children more than it does adults.
Let Malia and Sasha sit and drink a double shot
water
of that shit.
Yeah, while they're in the pool,
motherfucker.
Yeah,
water in the pool. because it's insulting. It's insulting to those people because it's not just them; it's their kids. It's like you said, if it's going to affect their children, it's their children that's fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's kind of like those fucking when all those kids was getting sick from the power lines.
Yeah.
No, it's not the lines, and they proved that it was.
Yeah.
But see, it's just these similarities, man. When you politicians and entertainers talk to black people like they are fucking children.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of Ice Cube, with the exception of a handful of other people, especially Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Dave Chappelle is a fucking warrior. But you listen to that what we call the Biden mixtape, and what did he say on there? he said something to the effect of, my words alone. I'm gonna find this shit.
I know motherfucker talked about the shit he did in the past. Look at my record. Yeah, about your record. How about that shit? About your record. The 24, 25
He's
with an L, the 3 strike shit, and then 8 years
yeah,
to fucking
yeah.
fix it. And
This
that's your fucking record.
this dude said, my words alone matter. He sat up there in front of those fucking people. Now listen, man. Gotta be crazy. I mean, these motherfuckers are infamous for lying and making campaign promises that they don't keep. But I think the craziest shit was for anybody to think a motherfucker with dementia is gonna remember any of his campaign promises.
No, not by a long shot.
Now this motherfucker got up there and said, my words alone matter. That sounds real similar to that time Jay-Z said, my presence is charity.
Hey, shit, nigga. That's 100% accurate.
I mean, they all talk to black folks like they fucking kids, man.
Hey.
And then you get these pastors. They notice they always meeting with the pastors. You ever seen that shit? Birth of a Nation?
God, it's been forever.
No, I'm talking about the Nate Parker joint.
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
You got to watch it. This was not a happy slave movie. He put a lot of emphasis on how they use the pastors to keep the masses of people in line. They had him going from plantation to plantation, reading shit out the Bible to keep them in line, basically scaring them. But the one day when some shit that he didn't like happened, he read some other shit out the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, whoa, wait a fucking minute. And he got his ass beat for it.
Yeah.
But it's no different than what these pastors do today. It's just now it's the pastors, it's the celebrities, it's the fucking politicians. One is using the other to keep black folks from getting what they need, and also, more importantly, what they rightfully deserve in this country, man.
Hey, it's one of those things where back in the day, motherfucking slave owners and abolitionists would use the same Bible to argue for or against slavery. Yeah, this ambiguity has to stop.
Think about it.
Yeah, ambiguity's got to stop, man.
Hey, man, one passage can be interpreted probably 500 fucking ways, man.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, it clearly says it in the Bible. Ain't shit in the Bible clear.
No, it's all parables and fucking workarounds, and yeah, man. It's what you get when you stitch some literature together from borrowed texts.
Right.
Right.
And like we was talking about with where we said that when I said that all of these motherfuckers, they're not even politicians, they're celebrities. In that recording, he was pretty much saying that he pretty much said everything I said. He said, all AOC pretty much does is tweet. And I said, like I said, she's more known for tweets than anything else because that motherfucker flat than a motherfucker.
Nah, man, you got to check out that video of her in college.
Get the fuck out of here.
I bullshit you now, man.
What video?
She's got one where she did some kind of project for some class she did in college, and she's dancing on a rooftop. It came out when she was running for office. But yeah, old girl has some large knockers.
Maybe I ain't been looking the right way, but look.
Yeah, you can't tell in them $4,000 suits now, but t-shirts, yeah, she has some huge titties.
Get it, girl.
Yep, she could have been a Luke girl. No.
Just imagine what these female politicians did back in college.
Uh-huh.
What was the videos that used to come out with the college girls and shit?
Oh, Girls Gone Wild.
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah, remember that was like the worst fear that you had as a parent? Man, as
Oh,
long as my
man.
daughter don't end up on a pole or in one of them goddamn videos.
That was the excuse for a lot of suburban daddies to watch that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making sure my daughter ain't on here.
Looking out
No,
for
your
neighborhood
wife ain't giving
kids.
you no pussy, motherfucker.
About to beat the fingerprints off of both hands.